Good morning, everybody. I just wanted to share with you a short video to show you the morning routine I use to help loosen up my hips most every single day. This is a myofascial release ball. You can Google it and you can find them online. They're very inexpensive. And the thing about this ball is that it's very, very squishy. I do not have it filled up all the way. I think mine came with a little pump, or I might have ordered a Pilates ball down the road somewhere that has a little, it's got one of those little holes that you stick the pump in. I keep this at maybe like 80%. And when I'm first waking up in the morning, my fascia doesn't respond well to like a hard foam roller or a really hard ball. So this is what I start the day with. And usually in under 5 minutes, I have quite a tea ritual that I do every single morning that takes at least 10 minutes. And so during that time, I usually do this, prepare the tea. While it steeps, I do a little bit of my sliding and gliding. So even if you don't have hip issues, but you just wake up feeling a little bit tight or restricted, this is a really good way just to start to kind of hydrate the fascia in your legs, which is really going to be connected to all of the fascia in your entire body. It's like the start, okay? So I take this ball and I just start literally underneath my sits bone. And I do this on both legs, even if it's just one, usually my left hip bothers me a little more, but I just start by circling the ball around the actual sitting bone. And if I come into any spots that feel extra sticky, I might pause and like run over that area a little bit. But just, I'll abbreviate it today for this video, but just until if it feels like you've run across it for a minute or so. So starting around the sits bone where the hamstring attachment is, glutes, and then I will take it a little lower. So right at the hamstring attachment, top of the hamstring, just below the sits bone, I'll just place it on the floor and elevate my leg enough to just go back and forth. So I can feel that tissue moving right at the hamstring attachment. Coincidentally, or probably not coincidentally, I had an injury there years ago, and that's the side where I have all the hip issues, but I do think there might be a little scar tissue. Even though I haven't seen images of that scar tissue, I can feel it's a little bit ropey and tight when I run over it. And then I'll just sort of, no exact amount of time, but I'll just move down the hamstring. And usually I'll find some, kind of pressure points or tender points, and I might gently go over those. Sometimes I'll hang out, just rest my weight into it. I'll just little by little move down my leg. And I'm going across the grain. So those hamstring muscles are vertical in the body, along the longitudinal back of the leg, and so I'm going across laterally, side to side. And then I'll even go below the knee and into the calf. And this is a big one for me, and a lot of my clients have said they get a lot of relief up in their hips and their knees from working with their calves. So if nothing else, just getting a myofascial release ball for your calf. A lot of people use tennis balls, and I've got tennis balls as well. Sometimes when I have more time, I'll work my way up in hardness from the really squishy ball through into a tennis ball. I have some harder myofascial release balls that I might work on once I've gotten that tissue well hydrated. But I usually start softer because that's gonna be the thing that hydrates the tissue. And I can find a lot even further down the chain, little bits of restriction all the way to that Achilles tendon. Okay, and then depending on how much time I have, sometimes I'll even roll over onto my belly. I'm going to show you on the other leg so you can see. And I'll place it underneath my quads. Okay, so I'm just below the hip. And I just do the same thing. Just work across side to side. I certainly have a lot of restriction around the quads, my hip, and you can feel that ropey tissue. Like here, I feel a little like a bump. I don't even know. You might be able to see it. And I'll again work my way down towards the knee. And sometimes if I run into a place that feels extra restricted, I might just hang out and breathe. And I do believe that deep belly breathing with a mindfulness practice. So you're focusing on, you're not just doing this and doing your grocery list. You're like in it. You're focusing on the feeling and offering your body an opportunity to release, like holding space for your body to release. Sounds maybe a little bit cheesy, but it's not. Okay, and then once I have worked through the front and the back of the leg, maybe then it's time for me to pour the boiling water on the tea. So I do that. And then while the tea steeps, I come into some of my Satya moves, some of my sliding and gliding moves. First, I always just lie down and check in, just like we do in our other videos. Just observing what's here this morning. Holding space for things to be different every day, I have found that to be profoundly important to my healing journey. It's to not wake up with the automatic dread of, oh yeah, my body isn't working, but to just check in and actually ask, how is it today? And then usually a few of the deep belly breaths to mobilize the diaphragm, psoas attachment. And then depending on what I'm sensing and feeling, usually I will start with the hip up slip and down slip, sliding and gliding one leg away, and exhale to relax. Other leg. And in the early morning hours, it's really auspicious time. You're not quite awake yet. And it's a little bit easier to be fully present. If you give yourself that few minutes just to not hit the ground running just yet, just go slow and kind of check in as one side tighters, one side more mobile. Notice too, I'm flexing feet, spreading toes, maybe even squeezing and releasing the toes. And then I really will pause, sense, feel between movements. And then plant one foot and swing the knee and gaze opposite the way the knee's going. So a little spinal unwinding, which is a really nice way to hydrate the lumbar fascia. But for me, it's really good opening on the hips as well. I might do about 5 on each side. All the time breathing into the belly. So the inhale, belly rises, hip rises. Exhale, belly falls, hip falls. And really these moves anytime during the day, you can drop down and do a few of these moves, and that's been so effective for me. It's important to do a full practice, but just a little kind of movement moments. I've heard them called movement snacks. I didn't make that up, but I'm not a big snacker, but a movement snacker, that's great. And then I'll pause and just feel gratitude in my body for a new day, a new beginning. My tea, which I love, that's ready by now. Always a little pause on my side. Yoga philosophy, we have to pause between the practice and the moving back into the day. And then always careful on the rising. Make my way into my day. Yeah, and that's it. Just very simple, gentle movement to start the day, between 5 and 10 minutes. You could do as little or as lot of it as you like, but starting with this nice squishy ball and moving into some of the sliding and gliding. I'm Kendall. I usher people home to their bodies, and it is my greatest wish that you may all be happy and free and live lives of ease. Namaste.